Hello and welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is a reading for Libra. If Libra is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. I'd also like to offer, if there's anything you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments, all right? Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I'm merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. There's a 10 of Wands. Okay, interesting. That's a lot of fiery energy there. A lot of fiery energy. Let's put that into some context, all right? We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. See what we have here. All right, we've got pretty balanced over here. We've got some fire, some water, some air. We don't have any earth energy yet, so let's see about the path of the serpent. Yeah, there's the earth energy. Okay, good. So we're pretty balanced here, and I am finding that the only major arcana is this Chariot energy. That's going to be interesting. Let's do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to select one card randomly from the Smith-Waite deck. And this is the card that we set aside. We're not going to look at it until the very end of the reading. And we'll just set it right here, put the frog on top. And hopefully that card will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need. Okay, so 10 of Wands. I have this very strong feeling that you're really on the verge of like exhaustion, you know. I think that you've been pushing yourself too hard. I feel like, you know, you kind of imagine that you have the strength or the endurance of two people, but you're just one person, right? I feel like you're doing the work of two or more people. In some situation. It could be a work thing. We see this earth energy here in your environment, and I think maybe you're putting in way too much effort at your job, your career, your project, whatever you're working on, whatever you're building, whatever you're creating, whether this is through a job, a career, employment, whether this is your own business, some project you're doing outside of work, maybe you're retired, maybe this is what you're focused on every day, what your commitments are. When I say work, it's basically just what you do every day, right? What your commitments are and stuff. I feel like you're doing the work of like 10 people right now. And I think that this is not sustainable. I feel like you're going to, if you're not already, I think you're going to definitely experience a overall fatigue. I feel like you may even be running yourself so low that you're going to start like getting sick, you know? We kind of see that with some of this water and air energy here. So honestly, I'm kind of worried about you because I feel like you're burning the candle at both ends. You're pushing yourself too far. You're stretching yourself too thin. You're trying to do the work of 10 people. Okay? And yeah, I feel a very severe fatigue coming on. You may already be in it. It could already be hitting you as some pain and weakness in your back. From top to bottom, I feel like you've just got a really kind of severe cramping, muscle aches. Maybe you've pulled a muscle in your back recently, but I feel it strongly in your back. And I see why you're doing it, you know. I understand it. I'm concerned about you. I don't want you to wear yourself out. I worry that this fire energy is so far detached from its original source, its original purpose and intent, that now you're just out there pedal to the metal and you don't even really remember why, you know? Or it could be that you've already like passed the finish line, but you still keep going, right? It reminds me of that Cake song that I think my wife just played it in the car recently about someone's at the racetrack or something. They just keep driving around. The place is closed. Everyone's gone home, but he just pedal to the metal, just keeps going around and around. I almost feel like you've accomplished your goals, but you're not pulling back at all. You're not easing back on that energy. Okay. And that concerns me. That really, I want you to take care of yourself. Thankfully, we have this Chariot energy. This is, I think this is you taking care of yourself, right? The Chariot sometimes represents this return to a state of health and vitality and strength, okay? But this could also be you feeling like you're invincible, okay? You could feel like, well, I've got my armor on, I've got my Chariot, nothing can hurt me, you know? But this is maybe a precaution. Maybe this might reduce the likelihood of an injury or an illness, but it doesn't prevent it. It doesn't guarantee against it. So you may be feeling like you're healthy and vital now, so there's no need for you to slow down, right? Not even thinking about the idea that we don't even know why we keep going. Maybe we've already reached the goal. Maybe we've already achieved what we set out to achieve. We said, okay, I'm gonna work really, really, really hard until I'm all caught up on my bills. Now you're all caught up on your bills, but you're still going pedal to the metal, right? You're still pushing yourself beyond the limit, right? And again, that concerns me. I want you to be healthy and happy. I want you to have your bills paid and be successful, yes, but not at the expense of your health, okay? Now, I'm not a doctor. This isn't a medical reading, okay? I'm not qualified to give any kind of medical advice. But energetically, I feel like you need to ease back a little bit here, Ripley, okay? I feel like we're grinding axle. Here's the Three of Cups behind you in the past. I think the reason why you're here is just through overspending, through living maybe a little bit beyond our means. Nothing crazy, but slowly over time, maybe we just said, well, I can charge this on the card, or, you know, I'll pay that off next month or something like that. And you're just having fun, maybe shopping, maybe taking friends, family members out to dinner, buying stuff for the dog, whatever it is, whatever. When I was younger, I got in trouble with my credit cards because I bought too many, I bought too many accessories for my drum kit. I was really interested in playing music, so every couple of days I'd buy a new drum or a new cymbal or, you know, something like that. And it seemed like it was for a good purpose, but, you know, in the end, I had to end up paying all that money back. So I kind of understand the impulse there, obviously. I think a lot of this happens to probably most people, you know, at least here in the country that I live in. It seems kind of endemic. My daughter's toy again. I don't know if this has happened in the Libra reading last time, but whenever I kind of make I don't know, maybe a personal anecdote, or I make a certain type of I don't know if you can hear that. I'm going to try to talk over it. My daughter has this little jungle playset thing that it has batteries, but it's down here. She hasn't played with it in months, but every once in a while when I'm talking, the thing will go off. No one's down here with me. No one's in the studio with me. This is in the next room over. And it will just, that one was talking about sharing, you know, animals sharing food and stuff like that, right? So it's kind of exactly what we were just talking about. It's kind of giving me goosebumps. I don't know if you could hear that or not, but I'll try to crank the volume up on my microphone in post so you can hear it. Anyway, where were we? Yes, just feeling in the moment, kind of drawn to something. We feel good. We want to celebrate. We want to share with our friends. Let's go out to dinner. Let's, you know, it's this feel good energy. But sometimes it can get us into a little little bit of trouble. So I think that might be what's behind all of this. I don't think that it was some, major expenses. I don't think it was some big catastrophe. I think it's just a little bit over time having too much fun, right? I got to get rid of that thing. It's freaking me out. Slowly over time, we kind of dig ourselves a little bit of a hole. And I think that might be why we're really trying to work the extra hours now. Maybe you've got 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs. Maybe night and day you're really working to correct this situation. Okay? And that's admirable. It really is. And I think that you've accomplished what you initially set out to accomplish. Here is the 10 of Pentacles. I'm going to try not to let that toy distract me. Okay. We've got the 10 of Pentacles here in your environment. So I feel like you're restored. I feel like things are made whole again. I think you've gotten caught up on the bills, or you've paid off the debts, or whatever that is. But what we really need is to change our behavior. Here's the 2 of Discs. This is what we don't want. This card's almost saying, hey, look, I like spending, and I'll just work extra to make up for it. There's nothing wrong with that equation. And indeed, I don't think there is either. I think it's just kind of a cause and effect. It's an action and a reaction, right? You spend too much, I got to work a little harder. Well, I work harder, I get a little bit of extra money. Well, I can spend it on stuff. So there's this idea that we don't want change. We don't want really things to be any different. Maybe that's just the period of time that you are in your life where it's working, it's a system. I still don't think it can be sustained. Okay? I think that eventually it's going to catch up with you physically, right? Energetically. We've got the Knight of Wands down here beneath the surface. This is what feels like infinite energy. It feels like you could work 100 jobs, I don't think that's the case. I think that you're going to eventually experience this fatigue if you're not already, with the back pain. But I feel that there's this intense will in you, an intense drive, that you want to work above and beyond. You want to work 3, 4, 5 jobs, right? Just making ends meet is not enough for you. You want more. You want to exceed just a kind of baseline thing. And that, again, that's very admirable. I feel like you're stuck in this mode, though. And I don't think it, by the looks of this, it doesn't seem like it's really going to benefit you in the long run. With this Princess of Swords, I feel like you don't want to hear it, though. I wouldn't be surprised if you're just about ready to click off of this video, And I really hope you don't, but if you want to, I understand. Because I don't like hearing stuff like that about myself either. It's difficult. So I feel like people maybe have been telling you, hey, look, you got to slow down. You're working like crazy. You got to take it easy. You got to just pull back a little bit. And you don't want to hear that. You don't want to listen. Fingers in your ears, la, 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 la. And that, too, that's understandable. I feel, and I know I keep saying this, I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just trying to show you this energy. And it is really because, of this concern. I think that, the people around you can see that too. Here is the 6 of Cups. This is your general energy. You're not doing this for selfish reasons. You're not just doing it because you like spending or because you want things or whatever, or you have a certain lifestyle that you like or whatever. I feel like you really love your loved ones. You love to share. You love to give. You love everybody to be happy. It makes you feel good when other people feel good. 6 of Cups. It's a real ease. It's a real pleasure in life. I think you enjoy the finer things. I think that you'll spend the extra $1 or $2 to get the organic, or to get the better quality thing, or the more delicious thing, or just the higher end thing, or whatever it might be. Because you enjoy that and you want to share that with your friends and family. You want them to enjoy it too. So it's only $1 or $2 here and there, but it's worth it because of the experience, right? Because of how it feels to share that and watch other people enjoy. And it doesn't have to just be food. That's just my example, you know. And I think this is a very lovely way to be. And, you know, it's all about the experience, right? And if we're not enjoying what we do, if we're not enjoying the people around us, then what's it all really for anyway, you know? But there has to be a balance of things. So I've been trying to avoid this 9 of Swords, and this is really the one of 2 ways that it could go. Continue how you're going, and it's pretty much gonna hurt, okay? I don't feel like this can be sustained. I feel like you're in for trouble. I don't want to go into details about this, but existing the way you're existing, pushing yourself as hard as you have been, is not going to, it's not going to end well. You're going to feel it, right? It's going to catch up to you. So how about a compromise? We don't have to go all the way back down to just bare minimum kind of where we were before. Let's just tone it down a little bit. Here's the 5 of Wands. Let's take that 10 of Wands and let's try to just cut it in half maybe. If you're working 10 jobs, just go to 5 jobs. Take a little bit of a break, right? Allow yourself a little bit of time for rest, right? You're working this much, how are you enjoying the fruits of your labor anyway, right? So I feel as if like this is at least going to slow things down a little bit and allow you a little bit more rest and recuperation, which I think is something that we need if you're going to continue to put this much effort into your work. And again, this doesn't have to be just money and buying stuff and, you know, employment and having jobs and stuff. This is all the pleasure that you get from devoting all of your time and energy into whatever your projects are. And not taking enough time to rest and recuperate from that. You still need to sleep. You still need to eat right and get some exercise. You still need to relax sometimes, you know. So it doesn't have to be employment, doesn't have to be money, doesn't have to be food. That's just the example to kind of show you what the energy is and how it's being used, okay? And you're using it for very good things. That's the problem here, is that you're being very productive and you're sharing your work, the results of your work with your loved ones, with the world. But you also need to know when to pull it back a little bit so you don't wear yourself out, okay? So let's maybe try to just dial it down. It doesn't have to be maximum all the time. We can turn the volume down to 5 and still be productive, but leave a little bit of a room, you know? And I want that for you, because I want you to be productive. And again, with the 10 of Pentacles in your environment, you're being productive. I think the original goal that you set for yourself, you've surpassed it, but you keep going. And, you know, that's a good thing. That's the kind of work ethic and ambition that we like. But too much of the fire energy is going to disturb the balance within you, I think, okay? Now, what I want to do is ask the I Ching. Now, my wife found these I Ching cards at a used bookstore, and she picked them up for us. There are 64 cards, one for each of the 64 hexagrams, which represent the wisdom of the ancient Chinese sages and their connection with spirit. Okay. And I know this is not the traditional way of casting a hexagram, but I'm going to do it anyway. We're kind of stubborn like that. I just want to see if there's any wisdom here that might be, I don't know, maybe more easily articulated. I think that's the one. And that says confined, 47. Confined. Okay. It says creating success, constancy of a great person, good fortune, not a mistake. There are words, but no trust. Okay. So this is you not wanting to be, well, confined, right? Not wanting to be limited. This is you feeling that if you are the great person and you're consistently exceeding yourself, right? And if you're consistently 10 of wands, then you will not be confined, you will not be restricted, you will not be fenced in your life, right? So the more you work, the more you produce, the more opportunities open up to you, and the greater and more expansive your life can become. The more you can share your world with the world, right? So there are words, but no trust. So it doesn't matter what these other people around you are telling you, what they try to tell you, hey, let's dial it back. It doesn't matter what I say to you. You don't want to hear it, okay? And that's okay. I understand that. There's also some text on the back. It says, can you stick to your purpose when there is no external encouragement or confirmation? Interesting. No outward signs of progress does not mean you or the world are wrong. Concentrate on inner growth within the confinement. Don't place too much value on words. They are not trustworthy enough to give you a way out. So, can you stick to your purpose when there is no external encouragement or confirmation? Well, I think because we're getting this 10 of discs, this is the confirmation, right? This is you reaching the goal. This is you paying off the debt, or, whatever this is. These are the results. If you weren't seeing these results, would you still continue with this, like, hardcore effort? Okay. So that's kind of interesting. That's a different dynamic. It's maybe it's this idea that, well, when my efforts stop producing, then I'll dial back my efforts. But, the more I work, the more results I see, and therefore, the more I'm going to work, right? It also says that no outward signs of progress does not mean you or the world are wrong. So just because you are not putting in this much energy and receiving this much reward doesn't mean there's no benefit. So if we were to dial back to a 5, there's still going to be progress. You're still going to get where you're going. You're still going to see results, but they might just be a little bit slower. But it's not like I'm asking you to come to a standstill. It's not like your friends or your family or the tarot or spirit is asking you to just stop, right? But just to dial it back a little bit. This card also interestingly says, who are you when you are alone? Right? It's this idea of confinement. It's this idea of being penned up, fenced in, not being able to move. Right? So is there a reason why you are resisting dialing back the energy? Is there a reason why you feel the need to go full bore, pedal to the metal? Is there a reluctance to slow down? Is there something that if we slowed down, we would be forced to look at? Are you immersing yourself in all of this work because you don't want to be confined at home alone with just yourself? Maybe there's something important there that we do need to confront, but we can only do that if we slow down a little bit. Keep ourselves so busy we don't have to deal with what's going on inside. Right. Maybe. It's just a thought. Now let's look at this mystery card. Let's see if this reveals anything extra to us. This could be some other kind of water energy. Maybe we're onto something with that. We keep the wheels spinning so fast that none of the mud sticks to them. 2 of Swords. Maybe there is maybe there's a decision or maybe there is some kind of a truth that we will have to confront. If we were to slow down, maybe then we'd have to admit something to ourselves, right? Maybe it's something like, our lifestyle is only sustainable when I'm working 10 jobs. So if we were to slow down, then we'd have to admit, okay, then, something else needs to change. Something else is going on. This is not sustainable how it is. So the two is kind of telling me that there is a choice that needs to be made. There is a decision that you have to reach at some point. But we keep running and running and running, going pedal to the metal, full bore, because we don't want to have to sit with this choice. We don't want to have to sit and kind of decide this issue. Very curious. Very curious. Maybe the extended could shed a little bit more light on this. I hope this resonated with you, at least in some parts. I hope that you'll at least consider this energy. I thank you for sticking around and watching this one. I know this was maybe a little bit difficult to hear. If you'd like to stick around for the extended, just click on the link that's up there on your screen. You can have access to all of the extended readings, not just Libra, but for all of the signs. I want to thank you for being here again. Thank you for letting me read for you. And thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot.